One of the questions I get a lot, and I really want to spend a little time on this, although it won't take much time, but I'd love to hear any of your experiences if you've got them, is I get the question a lot. People will say, hey Matt, I'm building this stove in wherever, and our bricks are different size than your bricks, and your plans call for bricks that are this size and mine are slightly different. How should I modify the plans or my bricks to build this stove? And so, Fabian, the best way to send me pictures is just send them to my email, and you can find my email just right there on my YouTube channel, or you can go to my website, walkerstoves.com, and you can email me through there is the best way, and those will get right to me. And if you send me pics, we can take a look here on the show as well. So that's always fun to share. So at any rate, I get that question a lot. How do I use these different size bricks when the plans I'm looking at specify this size? Or for folks who aren't using my plans, they might be looking at a brick J plan with real specific dimensions, and their bricks might be different size. And how do they use those different size bricks? And it's a really simple answer, but it tends to stump a lot of people, but it leads to some really cool outcomes. And the answer is simply use your bricks to define the internal areas of the stove to the printed dimensions. And this really only matters for the combustion cores. So if you have a combustion core that, say, is 6 inches by 6 inches square in the burn tube and 12 inches tall, then you'd simply stack your bricks to the outside of those dimensions. So you'd stack them so they make an interior space of 6 inches by 6 inches by 12 inches. And you don't worry about what the outside dimensions are, because the inside dimensions are what matter. And so when you're using different size bricks, what I always recommend you do, and this is really a good plan for any new build, is start your build by dry stacking bricks up to however many layers it takes to start to get a clear picture of how the build is going to come out. So once you do that, you'll be able to see that, if I build it like this, I'm going to be making a cut every layer, but if I extend it by 1 inch this way, I can use my full bricks. Or vice versa. Maybe you want to pull a brick out and shrink the whole stove by 1 inch, as long as the internal space around the combustion core and in the combustion passageways are the same, and as long as you respect the cross-sectional area of the chimney as a minimum, and that's another factor that we talk about a lot here, and we'll go back over that in a minute. But as long as you respect a couple basic rules, the brick size can go ahead and dictate the outer size of the shell of your stove, as long as the internals conform to the combustion core's internal dimensions. So that's a really, really freeing thing, because now you know that you can use rock or brick or mud, or any number of things to achieve your build, and the outer dimensions are going to fluctuate. Okay? So you don't really want to pay too much attention. And anyone who has my plans will know that those measurements, they vary all over the place. And that's because I literally built those stoves in the software just like you build them by hand, placing the bricks by hand using different size mortar joints, because the stove doesn't look right unless you do that. It just doesn't look like brickwork. And so there's a lot of variables there. You are building this with, like we started out talking about, different size bricks, but you're also using mortar, so flexible variable joints. So there's a lot of leeway there, and that's intentional. My goal is that the plans give you the basic skeleton of a stove that will work, and then you are going to be, and you can consult with me to make sure that this works, but you're free to make some subtle changes so it fits your space, your personality, and your goals more closely. So hopefully that answers that question on brick size.